Let's get you a very special interaction then. If you are surprised and a bit worried looking at South Indian Bank stock cracking, but were impressed the way the bank turned around in the last few quarters and the way numbers were actually improving, it's the press release last evening put out on the exchanges which caused a bit of a flutter among the shareholders. And now I have with me Mr. Murali Ramakrishnan, who is the current MD of the bank, to clarify and ease those and soothe those nerves. Murali, thank you very much for chatting with us. People were a bit nervous yesterday when the board accepted your request of not extending your term beyond September, because they just, the large part of the street was actually betting on you, and they have bet on you. The stock, which was a penny stock once, rose very impressively, the numbers improved, but now you're saying you won't be there beyond September. Tell us, what's the transition plan?
Thanks for having me on the call. As per the terms of my agreement with the bank, my tenure was till September end. So this was, and you know that I've been in the industry for long. So the reason for not opting for reappointment is purely for personal reasons. I want to spend more time with family, and that's a clear reason. And I'm telling you that it has nothing to do with any of the official or organization-related things. Because you know that I've been making, ever since my joining this bank, I've done so many big changes in the organization, and it is obviously with the full support of the entire board as well as the 9,000 plus employees who are part of this organization. So as I'm talking to you, we are also initiating a lot of changes even as I'm talking to you. So till September end, till last day of my work, I'll continue to ensure that we put everything in place and the organization is continuing to be on the right track. In fact, this is not a sudden thing. I've been preparing the leadership team and the changes in the organization with the perspective that any change which I'm going to be bringing in should be staying in the organization for long. And it is obviously with the support and help of the entire workforce who are convinced that the path which we should take is the right one to do. Therefore, I have a clear 6 more months, and the incumbent anyway, whoever will be taking a charge from me, definitely there will be a good overlap between me and him or her, and I'll ensure that everything is done very smoothly and the transition happens very smoothly. And clearly the strategy which we are pursuing, which is clearly yielding results, will continue to be improved by the new person rather than market really needing to worry about whether anything will turn back, because the changes which has been brought in are how typically a well-run banks will have to perform. So there is no question of any of this getting reversed by anybody coming in. So our endeavor is to ensure that the transition happens very smoothly, and all the initiatives which are taken, which is already yielding results, will only get reinforced, will only get enhanced with more and more new initiatives, which will be good for the organization.
Those are very reassuring words, Murali, I must say. Give us a flavor of what kind of candidates are you analyzing and working closely? Is it because our sources say that it's a mix of internal candidates which you have been grooming, also analyzing, scanning the environment for external candidates, and Hunt Partners, as per our sources, is helping you. Can you confirm that or add some more color on that?
No, the process has just started. So clearly, the NRP of the bank is engaging with the search agency, and clearly, this being an important role and important position, and since the market environment is also in a way that one really needs to put in their best effort in order to exploit the opportunities which might come. Therefore, it will be obviously very rigorous process. We will ensure that the candidates who are shortlisted as well as who are eventually going to be chosen, indeed clearly have had the experience and strength in managing these changes, because you know that in the banking space in the last 3 years, so many changes have happened, and as we are talking, there are many changes which keep happening in the market, with the liquidity situation, with the inflation situation, and with the way market is also a bit slowing down in terms of CASA, in terms of the advances getting impacted by the liquidity situation in the market, etc. Obviously, we are looking for people who have had this experience of handling such complexities, And also they need to ensure that the strategy which is working well for the organization is taken to the next level, so that the organization is taken to a new level. So we have just started the process. So it will be obviously it will be a rigorous process, and we'll ensure that it is the transition happens to the right person who is competent to take it to the next level.
One last question, Murali. Can you share with us, the immediate priorities you'll be working for? Yes, there's a big turnaround which has happened and now progress towards growth. If your last results, quarterly results, were any guide, what will the top 2-3 priorities be from your side to the new MD in continuation of this growth which we have seen in the numbers, or visibility 2-3 years ahead?
See, when I took charge, the things which were really pressing hard on the bank one was on capital adequacy and the other one was on PCR. And as you know, you must have seen also our results as of December end. Also, we have come out with good results, and both in terms of capital adequacy as well as in terms of PCR, we are now in a far better position than where I started with. And I am glad to say that it will only keep improving from now on. And we have not even factored this year's internal accruals into our capital adequacy. So with that, I'm sure capital adequacy will be even looking better than what it is today. So therefore, these two, in my view, are no longer a real worry. But then having said that, depending on the opportunities available for growth in advances, if there is a need for us to go for fresh equity raise, I'm sure the path and the amount and quantum, etc., we will take appropriate decisions to tap the market. Therefore, therefore they are not, though it will be a very important decision, but then it's not something which we need to really decide in a tearing hurry. But as far as the other aspects are concerned, clearly there is a very clear vision statement which we brought out, where we said we will continue to work on improving ROE, ROA, NPA levels, NIM, and all these will continue to be the focus for the bank. Profitability will continue to be the focus of the bank. So we will certainly work on all these areas, and I have already given guidance that by end of March, we would want to be at certain levels in each of these parameters. And NIM, I'm wanting to have the bank at about 3.5% level, and we would want the NPA levels to at least net NPA levels, etc., should be below 2% kind of level. So these are some of the indications which I've already given, and we are on the track to reach many of those milestones.
All right, Murali, very good talking to you today. Those were reassuring words, very specifically. And I'm sure that, of course, the street will assess the new candidature and the continuation of the track record, which you have actually shown in the last couple of quarters. But still, at least coming out and chatting about it a little more, and of course in your press conference later, this will calm down a lot of frayed nerves in the market. There's a sharp, I wouldn't say sharp, but reasonable improvement in the stock price, down 15%, now 11.5%. Okay, Murali is still with us. He wants to make a final comment. Yeah, Murali, go ahead.
Yeah, final comment. I just want to say that investors as well as analysts clearly need not, because changes which you have brought about are not one-off changes. It's a systemic changes which you have brought about. So these systemic changes are there to stay, and this is not something which is very unique to this organization. These are things which are time-tested, proven ways where any well-done or well-built organizations have got it as their intent. Therefore, I just want to reassure everybody that these changes are not because of one individual's thing. It's a huge teamwork and huge support of the board which has made it possible, and I'm sure it's going to continue. It's just the beginning of a transformation which will have its journey taking the bank to be one of the well-run banks in the country. Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks for that, Murali. Yes, I totally agree. It's an overall team, board, and the organization which actually stitches a turnaround. But still, leadership does matter. But thanks very much for chatting with us. That's a break. More news.